Welcome back to Zach's podcast. I'm not Zach.
And I'm Zach. And this is Colin. Say something.
Hello.
Colleen.
Hello, people of the world.
You may remember Colin from
Nothing.
from nothing before.
I mean, we mentioned him the last time, but you're probably not going to watch that, or this, for that
They
matter.
can't watch anything. They would listen to it.
Well, you're uploading it to YouTube, where it's a video format.
With great art done by yours truly. Oh, I never said my name at all, I realized.
Yeah.
My name's not Zach.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's on my birth certificate.
Yeah.
Not Zach.
It's right there under your actual name, which
It's on your driver's license.
we won't
Alex.
disclose.
No, it's
We gotta
Alex.
protect your privacy.
No, I think Eric may have called me Alex T or something at some point.
Way to just give it away.
Give away the mystery?
Yeah.
Because I'm such a mysterious person.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's only on your channels. I mean, they'd never guess it was you.
Yeah, but my internet name's Mark Winter.
What? Mark? Why Mark?
M-A-R-C.
Why Winter?
Okay.
Are you like...
there is a lot...
Okay, I want to hear the story.
Okay, so in 8th grade, I began making a superhero. Like, hey...
Did I get it? There's a fly.
I mean, the story's great, but you don't have to applaud yet.
I just want to get it over fast.
No, that was great, so awesome, yeah. No, so in 8th grade, I started making my own superhero, and
Mark Winter?
no, well, here's the
Superhero
thing.
for like what?
My own superhero. I wanted to make my own.
Like an
superhero.
imaginary friend superhero,
I
or just a superhero?
In all honesty, at the time, it was probably like, oh, I'll make a movie about it or whatever.
We'll
Or
make a
video,
movie about
a
it.
video
Wow.
rather. But so the thing was, and keep in mind, this is hardcore science fiction. So after I'm done explaining it to you, you guys are gonna be like, oh yeah, right, that would totally happen. Well, basically, the
I
story
like
was
science fiction.
Yeah, what
You're
are you
just
talking
judging
about?
me before you...
basically
I don't know
there
where I
was
was going with
there was a guy who at some point in his life maybe I decided at some point what it was, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. He lost one of his arms. I mean, like from the elbow down.
I'm an alchemist.
I haven't seen all of that yet.
Well, you've seen that part.
Yeah, I saw that part. But no, so from the elbow down, he lost his arm.
Fullmetal
Years
Alchemist?
later,
Did you lose your leg too?
no, it was only the arm.
And your brother!
No, well, no, the thing was,
Spoilers, guys.
then so you know he lost his arm. He was an amputee. Then years down the road, later
He
in
learned
life-
alchemy to get his body back. Is there a Philosopher's Stone involved?
That's not a thing. Well, later in life,
This
he
is
went.
just straight up plagiarism, isn't it?
Well,
You're gonna have to tell Funimation. You're gonna have to sue you.
yeah, Funimation. The guy, all they do is distribute it. They don't make it.
Yeah, they distribute it. That's where you got the idea. So they're gonna
They
sue
told
you.
me I should be watching.
I was going to study for my exam, but Funimation told me I should be watching. No, this is in 8th grade. I start getting into anime really into my sophomore year of high school. Anyway, so this guy's missing an arm. Years later, he's living in a cold state. I wonder where I got that from.
The North?
Oh,
Fort Briggs?
And at some
This whole story, I'm just gonna link it to FMA the whole time, and we'll see where this goes. Continue.
and I can't even make puns this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Mark.
that'll be a story
explain
after.
that next.
That'll be a
yeah.
story after. Okay. My superhero lost an arm, cold state. Watch yourself. So at one point he's out in a blizzard. He I don't know, maybe.
And his automail nearly freezes.
And so I'm not
Keep going.
enjoying this
Don't break,
podcast.
don't break story.
So at some point, maybe his car broke down or something, and he's out in this middle of this horrible
Snowstorm.
blizzard. Yeah, snowstorm. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's I don't know. He's dying. He falls asleep, passes out in the snow, gets hypothermia. He freezes to death. Well, at some point he wakes up.
Oh, okay, it's different now.
Yeah, good.
Oh,
Good.
He didn't meet a person with a chainsaw for a hand?
He met a person, but this person.
So do you have a
was-
chainsaw?
No,
That'd be close enough.
There was this chains. There was not chainsaw.
I knew it.
I hate this so much. Then he woke up in this lab with the scientist who had developed an experimental adrenaline drug based on now. I hadn't actually thought of this, but right now I'm actually coming up with this right now.
Oh, you can use it as your senior film.
experimental adrenaline drug based kind of with I guess it's kind of plagiarizing Spider-Man. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but with like lizard DNA for regenerative purposes, and it was an adrenaline drug. So
you're stealing from
injected-
Spider-Man
No.
and Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes, that's what this is. So he injects this guy's dead body with this experimental adrenaline drug, which gets his heart beating again. But, and this is where the sci-fi comes in. Well, the hardcore sci-fi comes in. But his body had succumbed to the cold for too long, to the point where the ice was actually like physically part of his. Not part of him, but it was so integrated into his body that melting the ice would cause the body to shut down, because parts of the body had just become so solidified. Like part of his heart, if the ice in his body had melted, his heart would just stop working because the pieces that were frozen would be gone. So he had to stay alive, but his heart was beating with this experimental drug, and because there were regenerative purposes, he was able to manifest an ice arm again. But as such, his internal makeup had to stay, his core body temperature had to stay really low. Then I had a whole arc series planned. I'm not going to get into that, but I needed a name for this guy. And my favorite Marvel superhero is Moon Knight, whose original name is Mark Spector, M-A-R-C. That's where I got Mark from. And my favorite X-Man is
Just come up with
Cyclops.
just go on Google and search interesting names, and
That's original.
Yeah, you could come up with like Radoslav
And my favorite-
Von Helsing or something.
and my
Actually, Von
favorite
Helsing is from
X-Man-
something. Never mind.
And my favorite X-Man is Cyclops, aka Scott Summers. Takes summer, get the reverse, winter, Mark Winter. And then then eventually I just kind of dropped this whole thing saying it was stupid, but then at some point I just began using it as my internet name. It wasn't to hide my identity, I just thought it was a cool name.
Wow, well, if that ever actually manifests and it becomes like high English, people will be writing essays on the meaning of that name. And
Exactly.
here's the answer right here.
Yes, there you go. And answer.
You can
Mr.
find
Solid.
anything on the internet.
So much porn.
So it's going to be a pornographic story. Uses his eyes to
No.
regenerate a giant dick
You know,
that
actually,
he uses to fuck the bitches, and that is the whole story. That's the gimmick
No.
to start the porn.
Anyway, I actually hadn't thought
Okay,
of it.
okay. Now explain why you can't tell puns.
No,
this
hold
week.
on. I was like I said, obviously I see the name almost every day because it's my internet name, but I hadn't really thought of the character of Mark Winter in a while. I should.
That should be.
We're bringing
that
back
should
bad
be-
memories.
That should be integrated into your senior film.
And you know
Yeah.
the thing is
And that I should be the star in.
you can
and
be
we
Mark
all-
Winter.
Yes.
Can I be like no? He can be Mark Winter. Can I be like the person that revives
The
him? Because I
scientist?
assume that because I'm insane. A lot of scientists that inject people with things are insane. It's
Well, see,
perfect.
The thing is, I have a lab coat for you, and this idea was kind of like I started in 8th grade, and
So you've had a lot of time to develop it.
well, but no, I kind of I seriously did though.
festering in there.
I developed it for like 2 years. Like my sophomore year of high school is kind of when I stopped thinking about it. But the Christmas my freshman year, my father, because I told him about this idea and I was really proud of it. He actually got me. I do have a green screen morph suit, like a full body suit, but he specifically bought me green screen half gloves up to the elbow for
I
this
was
thing.
gonna say, like, how good are you at CGI that we could actually do this?
Actually doing
We can
actually
set up
actually
green
like,
screens
like,
in the
like,
apartment. We won't have to leave the house.
Actually, like manifesting the arm, that would be really hard for me. But just hiding the arm, making it invisible, that'd be easy. I could do that. But yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe I'll start thinking of the winter.
Just switch.
story.
Use a poor excuse to switch it to like just 2D animation, because that's easier than
Then we could you guys
special
can just
effects.
voice act for me.
voice acting is easy because then I don't
Yeah.
have to try. Well, I should try. I should try, but I don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
I can be
I
like
don't
the
know.
first. I could be like the first Acura dub. If you've ever heard of it, it's
Yeah, I've heard
it's
of it.
pretty infamous.
Oh yeah, no, well,
It's pretty.
the
It's
series is a pretty big deal.
it's not. It's a movie. Like
Well, it's also a manga.
it's a manga, but it's
Was it a movie first?
no, it was a manga first, but it was a movie.
Well, the franchise is pretty.
You
Well
can't
known.
really dub a manga, so
Well, thank you.
uh,
No, I don't know.
that's kind of a problematic
I'll think about the
aspect
winter.
of that medium.
The winter story again, and yeah, and the movie was just gonna be called Winter, which is why my YouTube series, my thing is just called Winter.
You can change that, can't you?
Okay, I can.
Change it something less lame.
Yeah. Anyway,
Maybe I think you need a few Z's and X's in there, so Winter's X.
MLG.
But,
and then make it
yeah.
MLG.
no. There actually is something else. There's more to the story though, because I was like Mark Winter. Yeah, I'm kind of proud for coming up with that. So I googled the name, seeing if there are any actually
Fanfics. There's already fanfics out.
No,
Are
the
they
thing is,
pornographic like the series is gonna be?
There, erotica.
Yeah.
There are actually quite a few Mark Winters who are doctors, and there's one guy who writes books talking against religion named Mark Winter. He's like, No,
you should probably change that because that.
And the thing is,
I'm in marketing. So there are some people that might offend.
Just
I'm
sell your stuff
So
to him.
you need to make
So, like,
you need to make
everything
an
under Mark Winter,
extremely
you just sell it to
you
him.
need to make an extremely inoffensive like just normal name like Stan.
Well, no, I mean, I'm pretty sure somewhere out there's a guy named Peter Parker. I don't think it's like stealing the name from anyone.
Yeah, but
Well, you can't really steal a name.
Exactly. So that's why I was kind of
unless you steal their identity, that's completely different.
That's the way I do things.
I mean, change your name to
Stan.
I had considered making his name Mark Winters with an S at the end. But I
Or
was
Z
like,
Winters.
No, Mark Winters. No, Mark Winter XXX.
Mark Winter. That's
yeah,
what that
Mark,
says.
it's just Mark Winter XXX. So this is going to be a porno.
No,
No,
no.
it's
No, I was gonna say Mark Winter XXX, like Mark Winter 30, like the Roman numeral for 30. But I'm pretty sure I don't know what that is.
What?
I don't know Roman numerals.
No, you're right. XXX was 30.
Wow, I'm smarter than I thought.
Yeah, isn't M like...
M is 1,000.
I don't
or
know.
something.
V is 5, X is 10, L is 50,
I is a single digit.
I is 1. Yeah.
I
Anywho.
is 1. That sounds like a
So,
epic movie.
so
Or it sounds like a knockoff of I Am Legend. I is 1. Where we don't fight zombies, we fight mombies. Which are like zombies, but different because we don't want to rip you off.
are the most uncreative person
Ingenious. I don't have to be creative because I'm an architect.
So Alex,
I haven't had an original idea in my life.
Alex, tell us about why you can't say any puns
in the
during
world.
this
Oh,
podcast.
right. So,
And life in general. This is not just the podcast.
no. This
This is life. This is his life.
That actually is.
It is a relief.
Okay, so it's not much of a secret that I tell puns, and
He's not
I've
in the
been
closet
telling.
about it.
I have been telling puns literally, and I have a story about this too. But whatever. I have been telling puns literally since 6th grade. That's when this started.
That's when it bit you. That's when you got the disease.
Well, I have a reason for it, but again, we can come back to that later. Well, no, this is Zach's podcast. Why are we focusing on me so much?
Because you brought it up. You
Okay.
brought it up.
You brought it up, yeah.
Okay.
You leave the house more often than I do.
That's fair.
And Colin doesn't leave the house. Period.
What are you talking about? Next week I won't be here at all.
Yeah, next week, not now.
And the week before I wasn't here at all.
Yeah.
We did the first podcast.
Oh yeah.
So,
Okay, but puns. So
We're pretty fun-loving guys. You should-
I've
you
been
should have
saying-
been here.
I've been saying them for about, let's say, 9
Ages.
years, something like that, probably 9 years. And it's gotten to the point where some puns are just reflexive now. I don't even think about saying them. They actually just leave my mouth without me even realizing it.
Like vomit sometimes.
Yeah,
Actually,
like,
if you don't realize you're
literally is
vomiting,
word
that's you probably need to go to the hospital.
But it's like, for example, like someone will say, that doesn't make sense. And without even thinking, I just say, does it make dollars?
Okay,
I
that
said
doesn't.
one-
Just for a side note, that does not count as him saying a pun. He is his
Right,
Explain.
I'm
He's
explaining it.
explaining.
Yeah. And so it's just knee-jerk reaction without me thinking. So I
ladies outside.
I began wondering...
where?
In case it's not obvious, those guys are single.
Not for long.
Yeah, we got ladies right there.
So
Fuck you and your girlfriend.
I actually wondered, like, can I actually go a certain period of time without telling a pun? So last Sunday...
He barely made it a day.
Last
he barely
Sunday,
made it a day.
I told myself, I'm going to go an entire week without telling a pun. And it's not just not saying them, but if someone sets me up, I can't just, like, give them a look like, you know what I'm thinking of right now. No, I have to completely let it blow over. I made it all of Sunday, and then Monday...
When I was on the phone.
When he was on the phone,
and I asked why, and you simply replied with Z.
And it was, I didn't even realize, it wasn't until Zach came in the room and, like, said, you just made a pun, and I was like, what?
You just
oh
made
my
a-
god, I did!
Sacrilege!
Kill it with
Kill
fire!
the unbeliever! Infidel!
But it was just, and I was actually, I wasn't, like, upset with myself, but I was kind of shocked, like, can I actually not make puns? Is this possible for me to do? Can I do it?
After one day, people.
I made it like 36 hours. I made it a day and a half, more or less, and it was
Well,
36 is more
It's
than,
been.
I don't
It's
know what.
oh, it's
No.
reaching hour 15. No.
yeah.
Dirt.
So I just decided, you know what? I'll try it again next Sunday, and
17.
it is currently a Sunday, and I am going strong.
Yeah,
I'm doing a good
he's
job.
lasted 17 hours, people.
I am proud of myself,
And you really shouldn't.
and that is why you will
I
not be
give
hearing-
him till tomorrow. I give him the exact same time frame.
I'm gonna give him another day, actually.
Because
I'm gonna be gone at work, so I don't know. It's gonna be like, I'm not gonna be around. He can sneak some in while I'm gone, while nobody can enforce it.
No.
Well, his girlfriend knows, so whenever he goes to Micaiah's now.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
True.
Yeah, that was weird.
She's
Why
in
the
the
hell
know.
were you talking to her? That was strange.
Yeah.
I wanted to know her, and I want her to come over because like
Stalking
the first,
somebody on Facebook, and then
the first time I met her was for like 30 seconds, and they were on a date. So I was like, well, I better leave them alone time.
so I must
wasn't so much a date,
stalk her on
but-
social
Because-
media.
Because like I've been in that situation where I was like, I want to be alone, and like
Third wheel.
Right.
you got the third wheel. And
Was it your
Just
room?
leave.
Was it what's his name? Your roommate from? Freshman year?
Nick from freshman year.
Oh yeah.
Plenty of times.
Yeah.
Plenty of times.
It's okay.
He was
has,
a bastard.
Yeah, it's okay. He has his 40-year-old man
What?
partner.
I have no.
40-year-old man
I don't-
partner?
He had a great roommate
Honest-
freshman year.
Oh, good lord! I don't. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Kind of, yeah.
I wanna hear I've probably heard it before, but I'll listen to it
you've
again.
heard it.
I'll hear it
You've
again.
heard all the
I'll
stories
hear it for
before.
the first time, rather.
So, my freshman year, I got set up with a roommate rather than
Through housing?
Yeah, through housing. In
Rather
the
than-
music LLC. So at least I'm with a bunch of musicians.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wrong.
Oh, boy.
First day I met him, I tried to speak to him probably like, over a handful of times.
Yeah. Get to know him.
And like it was usually a short word response. He didn't really, so he's like not even trying to get to know me and like be a friend. Weeks go on, and he goes through all my shit with a friend of his that he made, and
Wait, what do you mean goes through your shit? Like, just, like, opens your drawers?
like opens my
Goes
drawers,
through your
my
desk?
personal drawers, and like take
Like
pictures.
trousers?
Like my no.
My
The worst
Did
of
he
it.
find the ones in the underwear with the hole in it?
We didn't buy those yet.
Oh, but did he see those?
Dude, I don't fucking know.
He should have worn it around the room just that to make him uncomfortable.
Anyway.
No, he would have got turned on.
I
yeah.
want to hear this. I want to hear
Yeah.
this.
Anyways, so he takes pictures of my personal stuff.
He took
Like
what?
he literally went through my underwear drawer, pulled out my personal condoms, and took pictures of it. Put it on Facebook
Why? Like
for
what?
no reason.
Like what? Did he like label it like my roommate's things or something, or what?
I don't remember. And so
Did he
like
take them
that's-
down?
and Eli, our friend Eli, they did the same thing with his stuff. Like they even like stole stuff and like kept it for a while, and then like took pictures of them holding it on, put it on Facebook, and I'm like,
What the?
so me
heck?
and him barge in one night and like take this off Facebook, and he does, and ever since that moment, it has not been on good terms. The next thing he did is because first off, he's like a small Asian. He's technically he says he's Hawaiian from Minnesota.
Is he foreign or is he an American?
No, he's
No,
American.
he's adopted. He's adopted
Okay.
in America, and he's Hawaiian.
Okay.
Is where he came from apparently, and he's been raised in Minnesota, like near St. Paul.
All right.
Actually, not that far from where I live, but far enough to where I hopefully never see him again.
All right. Okay.
And
that's
so, he has a concert because we're musicians and we
Right.
have concerts all the time. And he's like, I need a dress coat. And I'm like,
fair. Okay.
I'm
Congratulations.
6'2", you're about 5'6". We have obvious like
Different
sizes. And he's like, can I use your suit? And I told him, no, it's not going to fit you. Apparently, that night when I left, he tried it on and realized it was too big, like I told him it would be.
Yeah.
And
Like it should have
put
been
it back.
obvious.
Like, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but
It's still
Like,
it's
what the-
rude. Yeah.
it's just rude. I don't touch my stuff when I tell you not to touch my stuff.
Right.
Especially when it's not when. Why would you think that was gonna fit?
And like,
That's like me going to like a bra shop. I'm a male, by the way. I don't have breasts. But it's like me going to a bra shop and being disappointed that the bras don't fit my body type. It's just like obvious. It just won't happen unless I get implants. And I ain't planning to do that soon. Or ever.
And so,
anyway.
Like, this is my mindset and where I think he's coming from and stuff. So he's adopted. So he has parents that are caring for him, but not their own. So they're kind of probably a helicopter-like parent.
Okay, I mean,
And so now that he's...
Did he have siblings? That might have explained it too.
One sibling, I think.
Okay.
Also,
I was gonna say if he was an only
younger.
child, he might not have gotten like
Younger.
respect space thing.
But so I think he's the oldest child. So like, he was basically an only child until whenever they had their other child. I don't remember exactly. I'm no longer Facebook friends with him and everything. But anyways,
pictures are probably back up.
Since he's adopted and probably had the helicopter parents and being 5-6 hours away from home.
Yeah.
In Milwaukee, he's realizing that he can get away with a lot of stuff and doing constant drinking. And like, I understand like partying. Yeah, go do it. I do it.
Party every
It's an experience. But you do it on reasonable days. Like
Thirsty Thursday.
Like an occasional Thirsty Thursday.
No,
like
it's
Friday,
Thirsty Thursday every Thursday.
And then
it's Thirsty Thursday every
Saturday.
day.
Fridays and Saturdays when you don't have classes, you know?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anything for the next day.
No, he would do Manic Mondays, Turned Up Tuesdays, Wasted Wednesdays.
It's Wild Wednesday. I say Wild Wednesday.
Either way, any day of the week, he could be
Fridays.
fucking drunk and fucking annoying as shit.
In addition to being drunk.
And
He's
home.
annoying without being drunk.
Yeah,
I'll let you know. I met him sober, I think.
I met him sober.
I mean, I probably can't really tell the difference.
But like,
he's obnoxious either way.
So he's a drunk, and then he constantly has these friends of his over.
Friends, in quotes.
In quotes. They probably fucking did it
lots of
times.
Well, was he gay?
Yes, he's gay.
Oh, yeah.
Which is another thing.
I mean, we didn't know at the time, but we were pretty sure.
We were pretty sure.
It was pretty obvious.
He
had numerous older-looking males over, so he's probably like a prostitute or something. That's how he got his drinking.
Yeah, that's how he got his alcohol.
Probably.
But like, he had a lot of bright-colored clothing.
Oh yeah. Like his flamboyantly.
Yeah, he had lots of products for stuff, you know,
like lube and crap.
Yeah.
He had well.
I don't know. I was hardly in your room last night.
Were there beads or what? What was
oh god, no. Okay,
dildos.
So
just full on dildos.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
No.
Oh,
that's
damn.
He had like lots of hair products, lots of lotions.
Oh, like that. Oh,
he would constantly lotion his body.
Okay.
He had lots of vitamins and like pills in general. So he is like very healthy and like. Not to say like regular straight, or I shouldn't say
just
anybody doesn't do this stuff.
But it was like those kind of stereotypical indicators.
It was like that, and then he, the way he talked was very feminine.
Yeah,
he came like as someone who never really like talked to him that much. You know those people that they come off like kind of feminine. He came off feminine.
Yeah. I don't
and. Like, I'm totally fine with the gay community. I love them.
Like, whatever. Do what you want.
You guys both know. I went to Pride Fest.
I don't
As a straight guy, I went to Pride Fest. It was so much fun.
I don't care what you do in the bedroom, as long as you don't tell me about it. I don't want to know.
And so, whatever. It was just like the constant drinking and the constants of having friends over unannounced. When we all said in our roommate agreement that you give us at least a day in advance.
At least tell them that someone's coming over. I had a suite mate that did the same thing all the time.
Ethan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, not even. He'd just bring girls home and just fuck them with his roommate in the room. I was lucky enough to get a single.
You got a single, yeah.
Yeah, and one night was pretty bad because we had cardboard walls and he had 2 girls over. Heard some moanings and lovely noises through that wall. Scars are still there.
But yeah,
I would have drawn the line at the whole picture thing. I'd have been like, you and I are not on good terms right now.
We never were good terms after that. But okay, so now I'm getting into the roommate specifically.
Okay.
one of the not roommates, but one of the people he'd bring over.
The callers.
Yeah. So one of the guys.
One of the gentlemen callers.
Exactly.
Brought over was a fairly older looking male.
He looked in his
gray.
Either late 20s, early to mid 30s.
He looked 30s, and he just stunk, like unbelievable stench.
Really?
Like
no deodorant for weeks.
For weeks, and rolls around in garbage a little bit.
Okay.
I think he was like working construction or something because he'd always have like dirt on boots or something. But anyways, like,
kinky.
So he would sleep on our floor and just stink up the room, and I'm like,
and you had the room.
Hold the pillow to the nose, so I can't hear it.
And you had the room with like the really shitty windows.
Yeah,
like
we had
tiny
like
ones.
one tiny one.
Wow.
I had no, I didn't have that.
So he'd like let this guy sleep there unannounced, and I'm like, okay. Well, at this time I had a girlfriend, and during the spring semester of our freshman year.
Okay.
And I was like, I kind of want the roommate, or I want the room for a whole weekend, just to have fun and not worry about him ruining my time because I already hate him.
Okay, yeah, of course.
So I'm like a couple weeks before, maybe the week before, I told him I want the room for this specific weekend.
So like tons of time.
And also,
okay, what is your guys' weekend? What is your guys' weekend?
Friday to Sunday.
Friday to Sunday, like all normal people.
Yeah.
That was it. Friday night, he was there, and I was like, okay, whatever. That Saturday night, he brought that guy back, and I'm like, I told you, Nick. I told you his name's Nick. I never said that.
Yeah, you said that.
Did I?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. I don't remember. Yeah,
I told him I want it for the weekend. Why are you bringing people over for the weekend? Well, I didn't know what you meant by weekend. What the fuck?
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday. It is the definition of weekend.
There is no categorizing a weekend that does not include Saturday. It's always there.
And not even that, but the connotation that your roommate says, "Oh, my girlfriend is coming over." What do you think that might mean? Why would you want to be around?
And I was like, you have plenty of places to go. Yeah. I know you have plenty of friends. You can fucking sleep at their house. That's what I meant by I want the room. Like a sensible person would think.
Yeah, I mean, like this smelly guy, where does he live? Go to his house.
Exactly. And it always seemed like he couldn't go to other people's places. It was always they had to come into our room.
Oh, that'd be annoying.
He never left our room. Like,
except when he went to Justine's floor and bothered her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've heard stories. As well? I've had stories.
That's how he got his alcohol in the first place. Was through Justine.
Because Justine just took him to parties because she's too nice to say no.
She's an enabler.
Exactly. But then eventually, like, through all the drama,
she was just like...
They just stopped that. He was just a drama case, honestly. I'm so glad he went to business and quit music, because then I wanted to fucking see his ass again.
Dragma queen. I'm trying to combine drama queen with drag queen, but I suppose if he didn't cross dress.
He didn't cross dress as far as we know.
He came out. I think he came out at the end of that semester.
Oh, really?
It's like he's officially that way.
Yeah. Oh, it's official. There's a document signed, sealed, stamped.
But I mean,
for tax purposes, of course.
So, a generally good roommate tells you when you're gonna get laid.
And a generally good roommate understands the social cue to not be there. And if they want to be there...
this is not what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm going on a whole different thing, but what happened. This is the time I walked in on him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yes, and this is how I now know he is. So
I don't want to ask, but I kind of want to hear. It's like
you don't hear much. It literally nothing happened because I walked in. So, me and my girlfriend are gonna go to bed, and one of his many lovers,
many,
and him,
with an emphasis on
we're planning on having intercourse.
Where's my name? What are the J's?
was planning on having intercourse, and so this is what me and my girlfriend walk into. We walk in. There's a guy in bed who I thought it was Nick, but it wasn't. Shirtless, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Nick usually sleeps with a shirt on. Whatever, I don't judge.
Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, I know.
So we go up into our bed and we're gonna go to sleep.
Wait,
in walks.
Did you guys have bunk beds?
No,
he had a loft.
I had a loft.
Okay,
and he had one on the floor. In walks in Nick with just a towel on. And as soon as we walked in, the first guy like literally threw the covers over his head. So I was like, oh, that's weird.
Okay.
And then in walks Nick with just a towel on. So I cock-blocked him. I'm proud of that.
So did he leave or did you guys leave?
None of us left. They
just had.
They put on their clothes and we all went to bed.
Awkward.
That would be so uncomfortable.
I needed to sleep somewhere.
Oh, that's what happened to Colin. Because Colin.
Yes, that's what we're saying.
No, my other Colin.
Other Colin.
My other Colin.
So anyway,
your roommate Colin.
C Colin with the C, the one that stays over.
Yeah. Colin with the C.
But anyway, so he was. I had the single in our suite. He was in the double with Ethan, who was like the man slut.
Okay, yeah.
But at least he was cool. He was likable. But anyway,
that's yeah.
Anyway, so Ethan, it was the night he had the threesome that I was talking about. So
I've never heard of this. What?
You've never heard this? That I just mentioned earlier. But anyway, so that was the night that he brought the two broads home, and they're not. And he's a hardcore drug he's a hardcore weed ecstasy person.
Druggie,
yeah, hardcore druggie. So he doesn't attract the most savory characters.
I'd imagine.
So these girls come up and they're they just look kind of they look. You know how there's always that group in a high school or a group of people that that's all seen. They're all greasy hair and they look kind of emo. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he brought two chicks that could look kind of like that back. So they weren't. I wouldn't say ugly, but not traditionally attractive. But
I think I know
so he
what you're
brought
saying.
them home, and Colin was there. He didn't tell Colin, who was his roommate. So Colin's in his bed trying to sleep, and they just start having sex under him because they're in a bunk bed. So Colin had the top bunk, and they just start having sex with him in the room. So he just
what the heck?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Colin was just in that situation where he just walked out and walked into my Zach, can I sleep on your floor? And I'm like, sure, fine, whatever.
That was very kind of you.
That is something that I'm not. That same thing happened with Sam and Tyler, Tyler came over to sleep in Pat's room. But yeah, that was.
You were a hero in that thing.
Well, I mean that's just common courtesy. That's
right. Yeah, you do not have sex with someone else there.
Especially
you
when somebody
be a genuinely nice human being.
Yeah, I know Colin's cool. I mean, I kind of went off on him. That's because of the whole park.
Yeah, that was fucking driving. Drivers here are awful.
And then I was
they have a I read I heard it on the History Channel, so it's official.
Of course. Aliens.
All the insurance companies compiled a list of the places with the worst drivers.
Yeah.
Apparently, Rhode Island has the worst drivers according to their insurance premiums and everything.
Iowa's number 3.
Iowa? Yeah, I heard. Yeah, Iowa's pretty bad. I guess I've never been there.
Every day that I worked there this winter, excuse me. There was a police car pulled someone over.
Really?
Every day on the same road.
Really?
No, but the Milwaukee drivers are so much worse than you can possibly imagine.
I am a very calm driver. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard this thing to death. Me saying this.
I mean, native Milwaukee drivers.
I only get road rage in the city of Milwaukee. I can be driving on the freeway, and once I hit that first Milwaukee exit, I'm pretty sure it's Brown Deer's probably the first.
Yeah, Brown Deer.
The first real Milwaukee exit. To the very last one, in that little bubble is where I get so pissed off at everybody. Once I'm out of that bubble, it's smooth sailing. Going to drive to Makai's house. Once I get towards the more Oconomowoc side, it's everything's fine. But once you enter that bubble, I get so pissed off at everybody on the road.
Oh my god! And the difference between Milwaukee drivers and I'm from the Chicago suburbs, so I get the typical suburban drivers driving 5 under the speed limit. You're yelling at them because they're fucking idiots.
That's annoying too.
There's no passing zones because there's too much traffic, and you're in the suburbs. Anyway, I have to deal with that kind of infuriation. Milwaukee drivers are generally just dangerous.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The city of Chicago drivers, I'll acknowledge, are bad. But the difference between Chicago and Milwaukee is Chicago is always stuck in perpetual gridlock. Therefore, Milwaukee is Chicago drivers if you gave them space.
Yeah, basically.
So they're weaving crazily. downtown and stuff, where I have all the buildings right on the street. They have like the blind turns and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be a pedestrian walking across the street with the pedestrian light on, like you can cross.
Yeah.
People are trying to turn left into me, and I've been
What cocks.
down by Kenilworth and stuff on North Avenue.
Okay, yeah.
They have all these little one-way streets with like blind turns. People are just flying out without even stopping at the stop signs or anything.
Oh, that annoys me.
Red lights are optional. It's just a clusterfuck.
But the absolute worst thing a Milwaukee driver does, and the thing is, I've complained about this to numerous people, and this isn't considered bad driving. This is considered ghetto driving. When there's a 3-lane stoplight, the left lane, the right lane, and then the turn lane. When there's a big line of traffic and someone gets in the turn lane, the second that light turns green, they speed up and go right in front of you.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that infuriates me to no end.
That is a turn on, or
a
turn only,
a turn only lane, but they usually have to cut in front of you to
the
get
only
on the line of
time the only
traffic.
time that's acceptable is if it's the right lane and somebody's turning left and there's no left turn lane.
What?
Like if there's no left turn lane, it's just like over there.
Yeah.
There's no left turn. People can go around you to go straight.
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, no,
but
that's fine.
That's 2-lane. He's talking about 3-lane.
I'm talking about 3 lanes, and you are stopped at the stoplight. That's like there's no green light; it's a red light. But they go to the right turn lane and just wait. That way, the second that light's green, they speed in front of you. Like, oh my god!
Fucking internet.
I would slice so many tires, probably throats. I don't know, but I cannot stand.
Slice the throats so they don't get to breed.
Yeah, I mean,
and if they already breed, kill the young, do damage control.
The few times that I've driven in Milwaukee is like the scariest moments in my driving experience.
Even as a pedestrian, I'm kind of terrified.
Yeah.
But it was really fun the other day. Side note.
Okay.
That's kind of related. I went to Sendix to get some dip because their dips are good. They didn't pay us, don't worry.
That's okay.
But anyway.
Oh, you mean sponsoring?
Yeah, we're sponsoring now.
Throwing a plug for my favorite groceries.
All 4 viewers are gonna go and buy their product now.
David Gruber, one call, that's all.
There we go.
That brings up another Milwaukee driving story. I almost got run over by David Gruber. Anyway,
you fucking idiot! I was there.
Brad was the one he was glaring at.
Tell David Gruber first because it's shorter.
Okay, that was the story.
Basically, they almost got ran over by David Gruber,
and he gave him like death glares.
Death glares. And
if I was run over by David Gruber, I would hire him to represent me as I sue him.
That might be a conflict of interest.
Who cares? I think he'll get a good kick out of it, and I'll just drop the charges after I'll have to have a settlement to pay for my college.
Finally, the lag in our fucking house is
Anyway,
so I was at Sendix and I bike there because I don't have a car, and it's like really close to our house.
Right.
So, bikers in Milwaukee are also famously, actually just anywhere. If you ever noticed any metropolitan area, bikers.
Metropolitan.
Yeah, whatever. No. Bikers are just arrogant assholes, and this is coming from a biker. So, like,
do you guys want something to drink?
Sure.
No, I'm fine for the time being.
Oh, but anyway, so they're just arrogant assholes. So, like, we have bike lanes and stuff. That doesn't mean we use them. They just kind of weave in traffic.
Yeah.
Bicyclists always think they have the right of way. They'll like fly through everything.
They are very entitled. They feel very entitled.
They're awful. But anyway, so. I guess what happened is this biker must have blown. I don't know what he did, but he like blew through an intersection and nearly got hit or something. And I guess he was like I don't know what happened, but I heard like there was this pedestrian guy who was just kind of there, and they were yelling expletives like a street fight, like screaming at them, and it's just like, where the hell did this come from? This is the nice part of Milwaukee.
This is the nice part. This isn't the ghetto.
What are you screaming at?
Oh no, I don't. It's just like the other night, like the night that I accidentally went off at Colin. I suppose.
Okay, he deserved it. He parked the
Colin with the C.
With the C, yes.
Come on.
He deserved that one, honestly.
C. Allen, that case.
What's his last name? What's Colin's last name?
Sigmund.
Sigmund. Okay, yeah. I actually hadn't known it. I'll go into detail about the night, but basically, I had a terrible night driving home, and
he was upset.
I pulled up on our street, and on the right side of the street, you park with you always park the direction that the traffic's going.
It's against the law.
You park the
like a reasonable human being.
Yeah.
So I look I look out the window. And he walks
I ran
in
and screamed about some moron who parked the wrong direction on the side of the road, and we look
right
there.
We look out the window, and I look at it, and I'm like, Colin, is that your car?
He's like, what? Yeah, just the silver whatever.
He's like, yeah, it was easy to pull in, and I'm like, you are an idiot.
No,
you are breaking the traffic laws.
So bad. It was so annoying.
It was so funny.
And the thing is, there were cars around him facing the other direction. How did he not realize it?
I think he realized it. He just didn't care.
Oh, okay.
This lag though. Oh my god.
Star Wars isn't working for you.
But it's just lagging out. Like our internet's really bad right now.
But on that night, the drive that made me so pissed off, there was a lot of your typical douchebaggery, but there were two things in particular. There was a guy on a scooter.
On a unicycle.
It wasn't like a moped. It was a pretty serious scooter. What's wrong?
I thought you were gonna say scooter like a razor scooter.
Said
like the ones that you just pedal with your feet.
Wait, no, nothing like that. No.
I used to have a bunch of those.
A motorized
cool.
scooter. But he got onto the freeway, and I'm like, okay. I mean, it was raining, and he had a backwards hat on. He was wearing sunglasses at like 10 o'clock at night, and had a backpack.
So he was swag. There was no stopping him
not
getting
how I
the
would
pussy.
describe it. But he gets on, and we're going like 70, somewhere between 70 and 75, and there's like 3 lanes of traffic. Or no, I think it was in the part of Milwaukee where there were 4 lanes.
Okay, whatever.
And he gets behind me. Well, he speeds up, gets behind me, and then I'm like, okay, I'll move over 1 lane over. I was in of the 4 lanes, like let's say 1 is the left, 2 is the right of the 2 left lanes, and then 3 is the left of the 2 right lanes, and 4 is right. You know what I'm saying?
What? Sure, whatever. Just continue.
I'll throw up pictures to explain it.
Will you?
It's like the 4 lanes, like left, left. Yeah, I was
Okay.
in this lane. I was in the second left lane. He speeds up. I figure, okay, whatever. I can move over to the 3rd lane, and he speeds up in front of me. But there was someone else in front of us who was going probably my speed, so he had to slow down there. I drive past him. He gets into my lane instead of going over to the left lane and speeds up right behind me, starts tailgating me again. And I'm like, fine, I'll move over 1 more time. Again, there was another car in front of me. So when the scooter went up to the car that was in front of me, he slows down again. I drive by. He gets behind me. Then he just he slams not slams the gas pedal, like revs his little scooter handles and starts going 90. And this cuts across all 4 lanes in the left lane and just speeds down the freeway. Why did he not go to the left lane in the first place? I don't know. But it pissed me off so badly because it's like
he knew he had to get material for a podcast, so he was like, that's my mission. I'm on a mission from God.
And then, as I got
no one will stop us.
I got in. Then later, as I was getting closer to home, I got onto I was getting in the lane for the freeway, and there was someone in front of me. The freeway's 55, but she was like. And I was going 70, but she was going like 65, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll slow down.
Why do they even say 55 on the freeway? That's just a lie.
I don't know.
That's like.
But I mean, like
Wait, what?
That's like
55 on a freeway.
Yeah, technically the speed limit on city freeways and all of Illinois, if you want to talk about backward states, it's 50. It's 55.
Oh yeah.
Which is the biggest lie ever written on a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, 55 is the minimum speed limit. Unless you're stuck in a traffic jam.
Yeah, basically.
And if you're going 55, you're going to get flipped off. And cut off.
But I mean, so I was behind this woman.
Cut.
I was approaching her at 70, then I slowed down. We were at like 62, and I figured, okay, yeah, this is slow. It's kind of irritating, but I was speeding as it was, so I'll just stick with it. But before we even get off the exit ramp, we are going like 30 miles per hour. Like she slammed at her brake to go 30 miles per hour. Then coming into the flow of traffic, I'm thinking, please go straight and don't turn right, which is the direction I had to go. She turned right. Unfortunately, there was it was a red light at the time, so there were cars coming in front of us. Like they were going. We were both turning right, and the traffic coming from the left-right direction was in front of us. So when they passed, we got in the lane, but all those cars were in front of us. That was probably a very poor job of explaining that.
That was a very poorly constructed sentence.
Yeah, but basically, we turned and there were already cars in front of us. So I get in the left lane to go past her. As I'm passing her, she's one of these people. She starts speeding up, like I'm offending her by trying to pass her. So she's like, "Oh, so you can't do that. You should be behind me." So then she speeds up, and I figured, you know what? She got in front of me. I'll move behind her again. I move behind her. She slows down. I get in the left lane. She speeds up again, and it pissed me off. At one point, Jesus Christ! It was probably a 30 mile per hour road, and I just went 55 just to get in front of her and get past all the other cars. And then so at one point, I'm just directly in front of her. I moved in front of her. We get to a red light. I look in my rearview window. It's like a 17-year-old girl talking on her cell phone. I was so pissed off. I'm like, are you just trying to be a major jerk about this? I'm censoring myself because I don't want to say bitch.
Which you just did. So yeah.
That was the point. Oh.
But humor. We got it all here. Humor and traffic regulations.
But I was like, how entitled and oblivious and douchey can you be on a car?
I have a story about that too.
Oh god, it was so infuriating.
So I was driving down Main Street in my town where I'm from, and
is this the lady on the phone?
Yeah, there's another. Yeah. So I'm driving past my high school. And the speed limit's like 25.
Right, school.
So there's and it's just 25 in general because it's like a smaller road.
Okay.
So which means you go 30. Illinois driving laws. Explain that you must go 30 and a 25. Just 5 over all the time at least, except on the freeways where you go 90.
Okay. But, anyways.
So I'm just driving, and then she's like going 15, not even 15 miles. She's going like 10 miles an hour. And it's a no passing zone.
School zone, yeah.
And the school was not in session, so the school zone didn't matter.
Oh, it wasn't in session. Okay.
So, because I would have been there, because that was when I was in high school.
All right.
But so she's like going 15, and I'm just riding her ass, because when somebody's going that far into the speed limit, that's when you get to be a dick to them.
Yeah.
So I'm riding her ass all the way past it. The road kind of widens, and it turns into there's parking on the side that's never full.
Okay.
So she pulls over to the parking. And I pass her slowly, and she flips, or she's not flipping me out, but she's motioning at me while she was on the phone. She's not giving me the bird, but she's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah,
mouthing that at me. And so I just take my hand, make the phone sign on the mouth, and I just do do the hang up symbol, and I flip her off and leave.
Good. I mean, yeah, it's
conservative.
Some people think they own the road.
And then another time. This is actually on the same exact road.
Okay.
This is a fun stretch of road.
That sounds like it. I jumped to the point.
This is when I was getting my learner's permit.
Okay.
And when you're getting your learner's permit, I think that's the only acceptable time where you have to follow the speed limits.
Right.
That when you're doing the driver's test.
Obviously. Learner's permit. My dad always told me speed.
Yeah, my dad did too. But anyway, I was going 25. I wasn't being like that bitch. I was going 25, hovering around 25, 27 probably. Okay. So I'm going down the street, and this guy's just riding my ass. And I sped up to the 5 over speed limit thing. He was still riding my ass, and I'm like,
seriously?
Yeah. What? And I'm like, what is this guy's deal? So. We make a right on the side street, and he also made a right on the side. He was following me.
God, I hate that.
Me and my dad pull over real quick, get out, and then we just step out of our car because this guy was trying. He was basically trying to fight us.
Okay.
And I'm
playing card chicken.
Well, we're
not chicken.
Okay, I thought I just saw a bird fall from the sky outside.
That'd be terrifying.
Side note.
Anyway, okay, I know. Here, finish the story. Yeah,
and then so we pull over to the side and we get out. We're like, what the hell? And this guy just floors it past us. He floors it on a 20, and this is a side street through a neighborhood. Yeah, squealing tires, floors it, blows a stop sign, and just drives 50 miles an hour through this neighborhood.
He probably saw you guys were giants and was like, "Oh no, I don't want to mess with them."
Have you heard the story, Alex, of my terrible Spanish teacher in high school?
Oh, I've heard this story.
So, no.
I think you. Oh,
I think I told you.
It's possible, but
just deliciousness.
Just kind of like started what.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Where is it?
Oh no, some of mine.
Oh, I thought
these are mine, good sir.
Your mom's mine.
So, anyways, my terrible Spanish teacher story.
Yeah. It started off. Maybe I've heard it. I don't know.
I don't think I have told you. I've told.
Fun. Before this is a real short one. Our high school Spanish teacher had a very unfortunate name, Miss DePorter.
Oh, really?
So you know where that's going.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Con, you can
so, my junior year of high school, my teacher, my Spanish teacher from before, decided to go to a different school for higher pay.
Yeah. Right.
And so our school, and this is a couple weeks before school, so our school was scrambling
to find a teacher.
Well, they found one. She doesn't have her teacher's license, but they found one.
They found her. I don't know what alley they pulled her from.
She worked in a nearby town as a translator.
Which you think would work well. Like, well, at least you know the language and everything.
At least you know the language. And she was just a terrible teacher. She actually had a huge accident, like when she was 19.
Okay.
A car wreck where she was in a coma for 3 months.
Oh, crap.
And after she came out of it, she had to relearn how to do everything.
Oh, damn. It was almost
that's how much of brain damage she had. And so she was kind of still in
a state of repair.
I think she'll always be in this kind of a state of repair.
Okay.
Or she'll never be 100% back to the way she was.
Yeah, coma can do that. Yeah.
Like, we could get away with a lot. Anyways.
Get away with things we did.
Yeah, so she wasn't like the best of like keeping us under control or like actually teaching us. But it was one of my favorite classes because of all the shit we did.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
For instance, one day I was just, it's like class is at 9 o'clock, so it's like early.
Okay.
I was feeling tired. I went underneath a cubby and slept or laid there for 45 minutes. She didn't know I was gone.
Seriously?
No, she didn't. And my friend actually did sleep in one of her classes and she didn't know.
Really? And wait, this is a Spanish class?
Spanish, yeah.
Oh, my...
And so another thing that we did was we literally had to cheat on every test because we didn't know the material.
Because she didn't teach you well enough.
Because, yeah, she didn't teach us. So we'd simply just lay our books on the ground, flip them open, and this is a great way to cheat, children.
Take notes.
Take notes.
You are melding the minds of America.
You flip the book open.
Because this is our target demographic, children.
Where they can't see the books open. And, like, have your study guide or whatever right there.
Yeah.
And, like, you're good to go.
Just kind of look at the thing.
That's
literally, the test is here on the corner of your desk. And you look down at your book, see the answer, and write it down.
We had the...
when you know the material, this is going to be the material on the test.
Oh, what we had? This is my high school French class. So this kind of my mother was my high school French teacher.
Oh, that's right. Your mom's a teacher.
Yeah, which is kind of like fuck you.
Which is kind of a big fuck you to the law because technically that's conflict of interest. They can't do that. But she was the only French teacher, so they had no choice.
A friend of mine had a similar situation.
But anyway, so one thing I would always do for tests, I didn't do it a lot because I was actually a good pupil most of the time.
Look at this thing.
Ooh, it looks like a floating butthole.
What are you guys looking at?
A floating butthole.
Floating butthole.
But anyway, so what I'd do if I ever had to cheat was our desks were like kind of new in that classroom.
All right.
But they were the kind that you could write on. And if you just rubbed your hand over it, it would smudge and like erase.
That's a good way too.
I would always write my verb charts and everything on the desk, and then I just move my hand over it.
In your own mother's class.
That class I got away with so much in that class.
Didn't your mom do your homework occasionally?
No, she didn't. But
like she'd help you get the answer.
She helped me, but she'd help anybody. Like,
well, I mean, most teachers do. All you gotta do is ask.
Yeah, right. But what happened was, it wasn't just me getting away with everything. Keep in mind.
Okay.
So me and all my friends, I always sit in the back, and I always like talk to my friends the whole class period, and we'd like do like the connect the line games and like make a box games all the time.
Yeah.
So I'd never pay attention. It was so fun. But there was one day she always picked on me. And that was the whatever day was right before Thanksgiving, because that's when my birthday is.
Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah, but anyway, every year in November in French class, she would throw an in-class birthday party, like a surprise party. She wouldn't tell me about it. I know it was coming all the time, but
she
would throw a class party for me, and the most memorable one was the senior year one. Because she has like a desk folder of the Mona Lisa, of the Mona Lisa's profile.
Okay.
And
like a silhouette kind
of. Or not a silhouette. What am I thinking? It's just the Mona Lisa painting with the face cut out.
Okay.
Like a hole for that.
Okay.
So I walked in. I walked in the room, and my mom's sitting at her teacher's desk with her face to the Mona Lisa, and there's like a cake there. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Would it be like really embarrassing at those parties?
It wasn't embarrassing. It was just like weird. She'd try to embarrass me, but I'm not like particularly. I'm an open book most of the time, so I'm not really embarrassed.
Yes.
But she'd like tell these stories. One of my childhood friends that I grew up with, like next door to my house, she would always tell stories about us when we were kids, when we were in the same French class.
Okay.
There was one of my friends she wasn't particularly fond of, and he was in a different French class, but he was the only she would not let him get away with anything. She was a really lax teacher to everybody except for Christoph. And she would just like
Christoph.
She would always be, like, he would just say one word and she'd be like, "Stop talking to Les," and like it was hilarious.
Is that your impression of your mom?
That's not how she sounds at all.
Stop talking to Les.
The only female voice I can do is either the deep one I'm doing for the D&D campaign or my cigarette voice.
My cigarette voice.
I smoke 30 cigarettes a day. 30 cigarettes a minute, more like it. 1 for every 2 seconds in a minute.
I perpetually in my mouth.
I smoke 7.
Yeah, but like one of my favorite things that I did in my Spanish class was my friend Casey Catlin. He was literally the biggest instigator in the whole school. Like he would just start shit.
He was the worst.
Yeah, shut up. There was 28 in my class.
Oh.
Anyways,
oh, so sorry, 100.
So like, one day he was instigating something. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Starting a fight kind of thing?
Yeah, I was like, shut the fuck up, I'll beat your ass. And he just kept doing it, and I'm like, that's it. So he was like 3, you know how rows of desks?
Yeah.
He was 2 away, and like the one in between us was like empty. So I literally stood up on one chair, jumped off that chair onto his back, and made him splay out like this while my knees and my shins were on his back.
Yikes.
And so she's yelling at me, get down. And like
that's kind of like, it must have been some serious like shit talking he was doing.
Yeah. Anyways, I was just like sick of his shit. Plus, I think it was during wrestling season, so I'm obviously like.
I'm actually in shape this time. Now I can actually beat you up with confidence.
Who needs confidence when you got a gun?
I got the steroids in me. I got the ringworm. I'm crazed.
Anyways, so like,
she's screaming, "Stop!"
Everyone in our class is obviously friends, and one of my friends is like,
he
tripped when he was trying to go ask him something, and meantime she's calling the principal to like.
Yeah, for you.
For me, the principal no longer answers her because all the shit that happens in her class.
Wow.
So I got away with it.
You got away with freaking decking a guy on the back with your knees?
Oh, yes. The best was in my freshman year in high school, I took woodshop because I was actually I'm an architecture major. If you didn't watch the last podcast, go do it.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug for ourselves. They already I don't care.
We already have 0 subscribers.
All 0 of our followers will love that.
Of course.
We'll love our first video.
What did you call them? Your sluts?
My sluts. No, but it's for the end. We can't spoil the end.
Oh,
no, but so I was like interested in architecture, so I'm like, well, like. It kind of goes hand in hand. Technical stuff and architecture kind of goes together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't believe I wanted to be an architect back then. But anyway. So
come on now.
Like, our teacher, it's shop classes don't have the best reputation of the people they attract.
Yeah.
And they're usually like blow off classes, but like you get to use power tools and make shit, which is like, oh, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
So.
Yeah.
Our class is like 40% like people that were actually interested in like doing this stuff, and 60% stoner, like stoner dropout material.
Like total burnouts.
Right.
Yeah, just awful people. So our teacher knew that obviously, and he was like really lax, and he was like really like he was a really cool guy. But anyway, so every Friday in class, and instead of actually doing like a lot of work and stuff, he would have us like watch Comedy Central like stand-up routines.
Really?
Yeah. So he's like really cool.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, he was awesome. And anyway, so we're watching. I don't remember who we were watching, but we were watching Comedy Central. It was a Friday. And then the teacher leaves. He's like, "Yeah, guys, I gotta go handle something in my office real quick because it's like the shop room's like there's the shop and there's the like classroom part, and he has his own office.
His office, yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, I gotta go to my office real quick and do something real quick. Don't do anything stupid." That's what he literally, don't do anything stupid. So,
oh jeez.
As soon as he, as soon as he leaves the room, like not even 5 seconds after he left the room, these two burnouts get up to the front of the class, and I would say it was a fight, but it wasn't. It was just one kid. They both went up to the front of the class, and then one kid just started doing haymakers on the other, just pummeling him. Like he didn't even get a shot back. He was just pummeling him to the ground.
Did they say anything?
No, it just kind of it was like it just kind of happened. It just kind of happened. He just went up and started doing this like it was some sort of skit from SNL that made no sense, but it's funny just because it makes no sense. But anyway, so as soon as like that happens, and then as strangely as it started, it just ends, and they just go back to their seats quietly.
Like no one addresses it.
Yeah, no one addresses it, and then Mr. Reynolds comes back in the room, and everything continues as like was going on before.
Just a random little fight skirmish.
But anyway, so this is a Friday. So we have our weekend, blah blah blah. Monday we go into class, and we have this. He's not like a dean or anybody actually important or anything, but he's like the mall cop of the school.
He's like some sort of law enforcement.
He's not law enforcement. He's just kind of, I have authority because I say so.
Okay, I gotcha.
And he's just a dick. But anyway, so he's him and like, I think it was one of our deans and Mr. Reynolds were at the front of the class and like, what the hell happened Friday?
Oh, they saw like the cameras or something?
No, they didn't have cameras. It was the kid who got beaten up. Complained to the office.
What the heck?
And I'm like, that was just the most bizarre string of events that could happen in a, like, what? Oh my god.
It sounds like he's like let it happen to him though.
Yeah, he did. That's basically what had happened. Our school was.
Your school was weird.
Yeah, like of the fights I've seen, my mom is a teacher there, as I mentioned. She broke up a cat fight in the cafeteria because she picked two girls up that were like going at it, and she picked them up and held them up.
Really?
Which is really strange because she's kind of a heavy-set, middle-aged, short woman. But she still picked up two like not preteens because it's not middle school, but two teenage girls like cat fighting.
That's kind of bad.
We had another one in our cafeteria. There's these other two burnouts, and it was just kind of like the one in
woodshop.
One in the woodshop. They just kind of stood up, stepped off to the side, and just started punching each other. And there's no screaming or yelling. There's no reaction. They're just kind of punching each other. And then, as strangely as it started, they just ended. They just had the deans come in. And they just dragged them off.
Your burnouts sound weird.
Yeah, they're weird. And it's always the same person.
Oh really?
It was the same guy that was doing the haymakers on the other kid. Was one of the people that was punching the other guy
in the lunchroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
okay. Well, this has been going on for about an hour. That was a pretty sizable podcast. That started off.
We actually had topics.
Yeah.
We didn't write them down, but we had topics.
Yeah, that was.
This is not staged. Believe it or not.
What?
But I'm not a theater major. I couldn't pull that off.
But you know who could? The law offices of David Gruber.
Okay, we're not ending it on a plug. Well, I gotta go for another hour.
No.
See what you do to us.
You're
tearing this family apart.
Anyway.
Where's Eric?
Oh yeah, Eric wasn't here this podcast, but we had Colin as a great substitute. You had quite a few stories.
You're just a substitute.
I have plenty of stories.
That's all you are to us. Now go back to your corner and cry.
Go back to your cave.
Go back to your cave of obscurity. I'm the real star.
You're just jealous because
that is
beautiful.
That is a compelling reason to end our podcast.
This has been Zach's podcast. Once again, I'm not Zach.
I'm Zach.
I'm most definitely not Zach.
Okay.
Goodbye, sluts. Bye. See you later.